me, writing is a painstaking, intricately complex process that I can best liken to an altogether different art form, one about which, frankly, I know virtually nothing at all: composing music. I won't pretend that I've written any symphonies, but I do hope that every word I write, indeed every single syllable, is a note in a little song, disguised as prose, that hums along inside my reader's head just below the level of consciousness. Like any aspiring Tin Pan Alley tunesmith, I use the devices of poetry, rhythm and assonance and alliteration, the internal cadences, the way the words play off against each other, to try to make my stories sing. But unlike, say, Rodgers and Hart, I bear sole responsibility for both the lyrics and the melody. And in my stories, the language sometimes almost seems to drive the narrative, rather than the other way around, just as the melody of a song will sometimes shape the lyrics. Or, to try another analogy on for size, writing is like performing brain surgery on yourself. You definitely don't want to do a rush job with it. In the hope that I can entertain you and amuse you and with luck touch your heart and maybe even perform a little brain surgery on you when you're not looking.
I was still on the phone at 2 o'clock in the morning when who should walk by the phone desk in the lobby but Linville Price. Linville had come to the hospital to visit a brother-in-law who had accidentally shot himself in the calf with a .22 pistol a few hours before. "What's going on?" he asked me. As soon as I told him about Jenny and the need for blood, Linville said, "How much do you need?" and started rolling up his sleeve. I said, "The hospital will take any kind you've got." It turned out that Linville's blood type matched Jenny's, and within the hour his very blood was flowing into my aunt's veins. But I still needed 9 more pints. I mumbled some words to the effect that I'd go out and buy some damn blood if I knew anybody that was selling it. Why was I not surprised when old Linville looked me in the eye and said, "How much would you pay?" $10 a pint, I said, pulling the figure out of the air. $90 cash right then and there for 9 pints of blood. Linville said, "Get your money ready." And with no more words than that, he turned around and went back out the hospital entrance, still without having visited his wounded brother. 45 minutes later, Linville was back again, this time with a badge on his chest and a .38 pistol in a holster strapped to his hip, and 9 prisoners from the county jail. Marching behind him like a row of ducks. It turned out that Linville was friends and probably kin to both the jailer and the sheriff. From the jail, he had called the sheriff and gotten himself deputized over the telephone. Then he had gone into the cell block and asked the prisoners if any of them would like to go out in town for a few hours, take a nice walk in the fresh air, to the hospital, get a free glass of orange juice, plus a free pack of cigarettes and a good piece of pie, in return for donating a pint of blood on behalf of a woman on the operating table that might die if they didn't do it.